Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Tequila Talks. Today, we're starting with our first podcast, and we have a good friend of mine, Kofi, here joining us. So thank you for being here.
Man, I'm glad to be here.
Are you excited?
Dude, I've been looking forward to this all week. Like I told you.
Yep. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we're getting ready to drink some good tequila and have a good conversation. And we're in a pretty unique space here in Akron, Ohio. We are at House 330. So if you know of House 330, or you might know of this guy named LeBron, we are at his community center, and we are enjoying his own tequila Lobo. So let's go ahead and get started, man.
Let's do it.
So I really just wanted to get a good conversation with you. Obviously, we've known each other for now almost a year. I think we kind of knew of each other before, but we weren't ever really formally introduced. So what was your kind of first impression when we first met, and what's that experience for you, like getting to know me?
First of all, I mean, when I first saw you, I saw something that was in me. You know, you have that hunger to grow what you're doing. And that was before I even knew that you were involved with, El Patron and all these different places and these things that you're involved in. But just seeing my journey and knowing how I move, I love to see like-minded individuals. And I think when we were talking, we just clicked, man. I love what you're doing. And, it's just amazing that, like you said, it's been a year, which is crazy for me. I kind of just started coming back here a lot to Akron because I was living in Boston the past 4 or 5 years, for school and working out there. So to be back here and to meet guys like you, you're doing incredible work, man.
Good stuff, man. And for me, when we first talked at Baxter Speakeasy, you approached me, you're like, Luis, I admire what you do, how do you do X, Y, Z? But inside me, I'm like, damn, I admire what you do, because I want to be in a position where you are, where you've, been able to garner a little bit, and then a lot of bit of attention on social media. So it was really cool to see that admiration from your end to my end. Mm-hmm. But all I was thinking about when you were saying that was I want to be like you. Yeah. So that conversation we had at Baxter's was really cool because again, it just goes to show that we both are hungry, that we both have that like-minded drive. So let me ask you this question, man. Mm-hmm. What has been a key component to that success on social media of your art form, of what you do? How have you managed that success? And what is that goal for you in growing? Because I equally want to grow my platform.
Sure. I mean, listen, I tell people all the time, they look at it now, they might think, oh, it was just an overnight sensation. But, this has been my whole path of trying to do things for the past 10 years for myself. I'm 23 years old right now. I'll be 24 next week. And
happy birthday, man.
Thank you, brother.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this Lobo because I've never had it before, so I'm excited for that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But when I first started doing music, I was about 13 years old. I was 8 years old, but I started doing it professionally around 13, and I really set forth to have that be my focus. And I was doing content, I was doing videos, since I was at that age. But it just took time, and I was always looking to build on social media. And I didn't know I was gonna be an influencer or viral or anything like that. Yeah. But it just kind of happened. I had a video that I did back when I was 19 years old of me playing. I'd always film my concerts, always film my shows, and then I would post them on social media. My goal for me personally was just to track the growth of, my personal professional work. I didn't want to really worry about view count or followers and none of that. But over time that happened. Yeah. And but also I went to school, my background was marketing. So I was just big on knowing how to tap into the idea of e-commerce and things like that, and how do I market myself and how do I sell myself to a person or a consumer that doesn't even know what music really is from a technical standpoint, similar to how you are with tequilas. Yeah. So I wanted to figure out how I do that and how can I, make an impact or have an impact on people's lives. And, one video went viral on TikTok from a friend of mine that reposted it one day. I'll never forget the story because he told me, he was like, Kofi, I was doing a photo shoot here in Akron to promote my return to Amateur Night at the Apollo. And
I remember talking about that.
Mm-hmm, and before he did the photo shoot, he showed me his TikTok. He was like, Kofi, do you have TikTok? And I was like, yeah, I have it, but I don't really use it like that. He was like, dude, I just posted this video of me reacting to this little 5-year-old doing music, and it got 150,000 views. And I'm like, oh, good for you, man. He's like, but I was wondering, what if I took a video of you and reposted it? What would it do? And he took the video. I went back to Boston. Didn't think anything of it. Woke up the next morning and my Instagram had a bunch of new followers. I'm like, what's going on? You know, he called me and he was like, dude, check your TikTok. And I was like, all right, I'll check it. Literally, I had one follower, went to 500 followers. At the end of that conversation, I think I had 2,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
End of that day, I was at 5,000. End of that week, I was at 20,000. It just grew. And I realized at that point I had something special going on.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Pass me your glass. Let's go ahead and crack some of these
Please
logos
do,
open.
man. I didn't mean to talk your ear up right there.
No, you're good, bro. But, you know, after you start talking a lot, for me, it's from experience. You talk a lot, you get thirsty. So we got to make, here, let me pour a little bit heavy on mine too.
Okay.
So that's something that I've been able to kind of hone in on. So before we got in front of the cameras, I was telling you, like, the reason why I started Tequila Talks was more intentionally for my business, to be able to educate my employees about tequila, and to also be able to connect with people that might not know me or might not know my brand, El Patron. So it's that progression. I like how you said that progression of understanding your career and your trajectory, and eventually along the road you will attract, or you can attract, the people that want to be part of that. So that's a really good point, and I like that you said that, because I kind of feel like I'm on that path. Alex and I, we've been working on this Tequila Talks for a year and a half, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like, I talk about it with, my confidants, people that I trust, and I'm like, look, man, I'm shelling out thousands of dollars for camera time, production. Alex, who's a trained professional and puts out all this great content. Yeah. And when I think about it, I'm like, we're putting all this energy for a couple hundred views, but it's that progression, it's that big picture, that delayed gratification, that before you know it, over the last month, we've already gained some steam. One of our old videos is picking up. We're gaining hundreds of new subscribers. So yeah, it's those moments, but really being intentional.
Yeah, man.
So what is the next phase for you?
Next phase,
Cheers.
Hold up. All right, I'm gonna try this.
So first, what you want to do is nose your tequila. So if you've seen some of my videos, if you already know who I am and what I do, the tasting component of a tequila, there's a few different stages. So I brought some like really nice wine glasses. So if you swirl it around like a wine, Kofi. Yeah, before we get more into our conversation.
Swirling, brother.
Swirl it around, you're gonna start noticing the legs of the tequila.
The what?
The legs, like a fine wine or like any wine.
All right.
The legs of the tequila are these components that kind of linger on the glass. You see those kind of lingering? And that's just an indication of the distillation, of the quality of the distillate, and then of the tannic properties in the spirit. The next most important component, I think the most important, is the nosing element. So you're gonna wanna smell your tequila. And just think about what you're smelling. Don't tell me yet, but start trying to pick up those notes. So here with Lobos Tequila, so this is LeBron James Tequila. We are at House 330, his house. This community space is really cool. I've been able to throw my birthday party here. Now we're in the wine room. And just the mission that LeBron brings is really cool. Now he has his own tequila, so hopefully, like I want to be like him one day and own mine. But Tequila Lobos is this celebrity tequila. So there's this conversation on celebrity tequilas and what that means. And the snobs of the world of tequila might not like celebrity tequilas, but it's cool to be able to drink something from someone that's from our backyard. So
Gotcha.
What do you think you're smelling?
I'm smelling a lot of tequila. I can start there.
Okay, so I think for this one in particular, you might start picking up notes of like oak and vanilla. It's a little bit citrus forward and kind of smoky.
Right. With your direction, I'm starting to get that connection. So I'm getting it.
So you start picking those notes up. Now we just want to take a small sip and enjoy.
All right, cheers, man. Hey, yo.
Let it roll around the tongue.
This is great.
Let it settle in.
This is good.
Good stuff, man.
This is good. Wow.
So we're drinking actually the reposado.
It's smooth though.
Extremely smooth. I mean, this is like, aside from coffee, this is the second thing I've ingested all day, and it's extremely smooth.
This is great.
So take a good sip now.
Oh, this is good. Trust me, I will.
Now, the importance of nosing is that 82% of what you smell comes from what you taste comes from what you smell. So if you've ever had a cold and you can't smell, you can't taste. So once you start picking up these nuances and these aromas, they follow suit on your palate. So you notice those vanillas and those spices and those citrus notes. It's agave forward as well. It's kind of vegetal
It's like
to a
sweeter.
degree.
Like sweeter a little
It's
bit,
sweet, it's got vanilla. So the sweet component is probably gonna be coming from like an additive. This is not a confirmed additive-free tequila.
Okay.
And that's kind of what like the connoisseurs or the snobs, the traditionalists, they don't like tequilas with additives. But for me, I like to find value adds in all different types of tequilas. Again, I think this value add, most importantly, is that it's LeBron James, and he's a guy that's from our backyard. So let me segue into this question. Well, before I asked you, what's the goal with you and how you want to progress and how you're growing your platform?
So I mean, right now, people always ask me what is the end goal. If you were to ask me around this time last year, what's the goal for this year, I would have probably told you something, but it's not even close. I mean, I think I exceeded the expectation of what I was looking to do this year, just with national media and things like that. So, end goal for me, honestly, overall, I see myself as a personality. I don't think music is the final destination. I love to entertain people, and I've always loved to entertain people, whether that was me doing music, whether that was me dancing. I used to dance when I was younger. Now I speak a lot. So it doesn't really matter to me what I'm doing. As long as I'm able to impact people's lives and put smiles on faces, I love to make people laugh too if I can. I think that's the thing. I want to be like a personality overall, and if music's included in that.
I saw some of your skits, or not some of your skits, some of your speaking engagements, but they seemed like a comedy skit because you had like the crowds laughing, everybody having a great time. So I like to see that, man.
In a different life, I like to think I'm a comedian, but we'll see. We'll see about that.
So that really segues now into the next question that I had for you, and we talked about it the first time that we actually engaged on how challenging it can be growing up in an environment like a city like Akron, where you're trying to break through and there might be situations or people or ideas that hold you back. That there might not be a lot of resonance or like-minded people. So I think that's why we clicked initially, because that conversation was so impactful for me, to just hear the respect that you have for me and the respect that I have for you. So what do you think about how Akron is and kind of the leadership of people like you, people like LeBron, people like myself, people that are in the community, in the trenches, trying to make this a better place?
I think it's important to realize that it does take a village, and it takes a village from the standpoint of not only just the people supporting, but the people that are hungry to make the change. And what I see right now is a true, what I call that cultural renaissance. It's this new like wave that's happening. We got new people, new mayor, new businesses, new grant funding. There's a lot of new coming in.
There is,
And I think that we're in a good position and in a good place as people from Akron to make a change, not only just here, but also outside of here. I love places like House 330 that are, for the community and with the community. But I also love that the people that curate it, like LeBron and, not just LeBron, man, Maverick, Randy, Rich, all of them. But by the way, Randy, I need you to hit me up with some of this. This is great, man. This is good. This is my camera, right? Okay. I just want to make sure that was known. But no, being seriously though, this is really, really what it's all about. It's about community engagement, but it starts from here. Like it starts from building these relationships, building these conversations, and I think that as a whole is what we have to look forward to in this community. There's a lot of great, vibrant things happening here. Akron is starting to become a place that is a new destination. Like I always love what Mayor Bibb in Cleveland says. People always say, "Oh, Cleveland needs to be the next Atlanta or this." He's like, "No, we're just enough." And I think looking at Akron, we're just enough. I mean, we're not gonna be the glitz and glamours of Los Angeles, but we don't need to be.
Yeah.
There's
we got our own personality.
We got our own thing. And people love the culture that we have when they're not here. I don't know if you realize that there's so many people that are from Ohio and from like Akron that are making waves. Like Beyonce's music director, he's not from Akron, but he's pretty much based around this area. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kyrie, shout out to Kyrie, man. Like doing things, he's from Mansfield, Ohio, but like just Ohio and this Northeast Ohio adjacent areas. We're doing
There's a lot of talent, yeah, and
a lot of major things.
One of the reasons why I started El Patron, so I did the whole California thing. I moved out west. I tried to, see what that was like. I moved back home. I had an opportunity to run my dad's business. I have an engineering degree from UA. So one of the reasons why I chose Akron in Ohio is because, and you probably hear this all the time as well, I hate Ohio, I hate Akron, I want to get out, I want to leave, but I think it takes people to invest. It takes people to be interested in your home, in your town, in your city, to start moving that ball, to get the gears grinding. So it's been really cool for me to be, over the last 2.5 years, growing my business. Some of the things that you communicated with me, like, man, Luis, like, how are you doing it? Like, you're young, like, what are the stages or the steps? Because I want to be in that position. And it just takes that like commitment to buckle down and to believe. There's a lot of talent here in the city. Most of the people that I work with are people that are my friends, that are around me, that are my contemporaries. Because again, we're the next. We got next.
We're here.
We got to start building and creating opportunities. So it's really cool to think about how Akron has that identity, or Ohio as a whole. Ohio against the world. I saw Coach Day. You saw that clip?
That Oregon game?
Yeah, he was Notre Dame. Yeah,
Notre Dame.
He
you're
was
right.
pissed. He's like, Ohio against the world. But yeah, it takes that mentality, and I think people from Ohio have what it takes to make it happen.
I agree, and I think I'm not trying to. I ain't
Cheers
cuss.
to that, by the way.
Cheers on that.
Because we're both homegrown.
Absolutely. I think about, there's a song by Tupac, rest in peace, but there's a song, basically, to quote him, he's like, "You ain't nothing without your homeboys." I like to phrase that and say, you ain't nothing without your hometown.
Okay.
Like, you need, in order, I don't care who you are, I don't care how big you are, how famous you are, whatever you are doing, if you are not rooted in your hometown, what impact are you really making? You need to have your feet somewhere here in your home, or somewhere near your hometown, in order for you to be impactful anywhere else. Because if you're not affecting the people that are in the trenches, or from the trenches that you walk through, then don't tell me about the people you're impacting when you're not around them.
Right.
So, I think, again, like you said, it's about, building something for our communities. But also, I also encourage people, look abroad, look outside of your hometown. You have an ability to impact people way farther than that. And that's because of things like these cameras right now.
Yeah.
Moments like this happen, and they can be shared now, and people can consume it in whole different areas. And I love that. But I can also be rooted right here and do the same thing.
And run into each other at the bar, and you come into my restaurant, and we're fraternizing and hanging out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Man. What do you think about, so for me, like LeBron, we're in his house, we're inspired by that energy, and you as a leader, Bron as a leader, myself as a leader, what do you think that impact has played in your life? Because I look up to him a lot.
Of course. Again, I credit, especially early on in my high school years, I credit a lot to the movement that I saw Bron, Randy, Mav, and Rich do. The way that they all moved as a unit was something for me that was important, because they kind of established that blueprint through their actions. And I've always been a visual guy. I've never been the type to want anything or need anything. I always just watch people move, and I pretty much figure out what I need to do from that point here on out. So watching them from an early standpoint, and seeing their growth and how they've been able to develop. If LeBron and that crew was a class, I probably would have been an A student in school or something, you know what I mean? Because I really did look up to that model of how to move as a young black man in this world. And I think it was important for me to shine that light through myself, in the things that I was doing. I always wanted to make music to be that foundation and that platform, but it wasn't the end goal. Like I said, I wanted to branch out into other things. I love that Bron has been able to do that with basketball, to where we're able to sit in a brick and mortar that's not even really contingent upon sports at all.
Right.
Where we're talking about his Tequila now. Those are different levels of greatness that are blossomed out of the foundation that you've placed in, that you've rooted yourself in. He always says, keep the main thing the main thing. And the rest will take care of itself. And I'm a big, person behind that. I'm always keeping music the main thing, and then, these other opportunities, social media, that'll come, and business ventures here and there, they're coming, and I'm 23, and to see him as not 23, what is it, 39 now?
39, you're 21. He's like
Year
21 in the league.
Yeah, man.
He's going into 21. Darvin Ham was saying he looks like year 3 or 4 Bron, which scary hours for real.
I believe
That's
it.
crazy.
And that's a testament to his commitment to himself and everything. So I always credit people that are dedicated to their craft and dedicated to their process, because it reminds me of the things that I'm building right now, and it consistently keeps me motivated to keep moving in that way. And yeah, man, props to him. And I'm just excited to continue to grow as a whole, and watching guys like him. And also Maverick, because Maverick was a guy that I loved growing up, looking at the business side of things. And, we all have so many similarities. Like, we all grew up on the same street, too. Like, me and Maverick and his mom and my mom used to work together.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and Bron's Honest was my basketball coach in high school. I mean, so it's like a family affair to me when I see people around here in the city. And so it always keeps me kind of, motivated to keep going in what I'm doing.
Yeah, because again, I mean, we're walking the same streets, we're coming up from the same ground, and like just to see their impact. So yeah, I think it's really cool to be able to be motivated by that. For me, one of my biggest goals is to we're joking about it. The next time we're here, we're gonna have Bron sitting right here drinking some Lobos. So Tequila Talks, keeping the main thing as the main thing. So as a hospitality expert, a tequila expert, that's the main thing for me. And I think the beauty of that opportunity is that I get to create opportunity, I get to create experience. So my biggest goal with this channel, with Tequila Talks, with this first initial podcast that we're rolling out, is just to create that connection, that opportunity, so that if you have the opportunity to come to El Patron or get to know me, that we can have a glass of tequila. If I'm in a different town, if I'm opening a restaurant outside of Ohio, the next city, the next venture, that I can create the same experience for people. So keeping the main things important, but also being able to be, diversified and taking opportunities. So what do you think, man? Final remarks on this tequila.
Listen, man, I've been sipping as we've been going. I love it. Honestly, I do. So cheers again, man.
Cheers again, brother. So yeah, I mean, so for the tequila snobs, because I know you guys are gonna be watching me and you're gonna be talking about maybe that this tequila is horrible, that it's garbage, that we need to throw it out. I'm a firm believer about how tequila plays a value add, not only in the actual product, but in community and relationship and branding and marketing. It's a whole machine. So to be drinking Lobos here at House 330, here where it all started, LeBron's museum is right behind us. It's getting ready to launch, but like where it all started, to drink Lobos, to be drinking a good tequila finished in Spanish oak and sherry cask, and to enjoy a good sip, and to see your reaction, man. It's a really cool opportunity.
Randy, Maverick, Rich, all of them. Hit me up. If you need me, I'll put some Lobos right next to me.
Bron sends all of his closest boys like this really cool like secret case where they gotta open it, and there's like 3 different bottles of Lobos.
Yeah.
I think we need to get one of those here.
Like I said, I'm here if you need me. That's all I'm trying to say. Listen, I actually got questions for you, though.
Go ahead, man.
Because when I'm looking at your journey, I mean, when you kind of talked about tequila snobs, you're getting at the whole thing. I mean, I'm sure within your field of what you're doing, you've had a lot of negativity or pushback. How do you overcome those moments when you have people that are looking at you? And that was the biggest thing I connected on with you. Like we're young, we're in fields and industries where there are gatekeepers of some sort that don't want to keep people around, or that don't want to have new faces and new spaces. What was the thing for you, or what are the things that you always kind of look to overcome those situations?
Yeah, so I think I've learned in my short time, 29, you're 23, I'm 29, is just understanding that you can't please everyone. And at the end of the day, if you have your feet grounded, you know what you're about, you know your intention, you have your morals and your values and your ideas in the right place, you'll attract equally enough. So there's probably half the people that might not like you, that might talk bad about you, that might not believe in you, but then there's the other half that will. So it's just keeping that focus on that half and just not really thinking about the noise. I was doing a training with some of my staff last night, and I was telling them like the importance of removing ego. So a lot of times when we're held back by things, it's due to your ego, it's due to your subconscious, self-conscious ideas about yourself. And when you start to remove those ideas, when you stop worrying about what people are saying, if you're talking about tequila the right way, or if you're drinking it the right way, or if you come from the right background, when you just put all that bullshit aside, you're just able to focus on what you want to achieve. And when you focus and you hone in, things just keep flowing to you. Opportunities, doors, ideas, people. So that's really what I've learned, is to just remove my ego, remove my insecurities, get in front of the camera, get uncomfortable. Because it's challenging, man. It's sometimes scary to get in front of the camera.
You look like a natural.
Because it's just like, it's a one take. I might say the wrong thing, I might stutter. I might not look sharp, I might not look good, but like removing that ego, not only in front of the camera, when I'm doing business, if I face a problem, is just understanding there's always opportunity to grow. So.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, again, but when I see you, it's kind of like, that's the mentality I have for myself. Like I said, I mean, well, I think you have a way more refined viewpoint of it, and I think that does, contribute to maybe your age and your experience and what you're building. But like for me, dude, that's why I say when I see you, I'm like, man, I wanna be that, and I wanna grow into that, because I mean I'm still growing, and I'm still building what I'm doing. And yeah, I always tell people, you can see things from the outside looking in and think, oh man, dude has it all. He's doing this and he's doing that, but everybody has their flaws, and I think that the ability for me to not have that type of mindset, to think that I have it all going on, and for me to be able to ask questions and be, like I love what Maverick Carter says, I'm passionately curious. I'm always curious about what's the way that people grow? What's the way that people do this, do that? That's what it's all about.
That's what I said at my training last night. Be more interested than interesting. So when you're more interested in other things or curiosity, you're able to learn from experiences from people. And man, it's so funny that you say that you want to be like me, because I want to be like you.
Well, that's how it should be,
And it's just respect, man. Like just understanding that we can build value to each other and connect.
Yeah, dude.
So I appreciate it. Like from day one, when you first approached me at Baxter's and we're at the bar, I'm like, really? You think that of me?
Yeah.
Because that's cool. Like, it's just respect, man. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. My assistant principal, she passed away, but in middle school, she would always get on me, because I would get in trouble in middle school all the time. And one time she caught me getting in trouble, and I'm not gonna, she just found out what I was doing, and I thought that nobody was gonna find out. She ended up pulling me into the office, but I had my lies already ready, and I was trying to lie and get my way out of it. And she's like, Kofi, don't you understand? I already know that you did it. You were on camera. I didn't even know that I was on camera. Like, I looked around, I was like, wow, them things do work. I didn't even know. And she said, Kofi, character is who you are and what you're doing when nobody is watching. And that always resonated with me. Like, that's how I kind of viewed you. The work you do when nobody's watching is going to impact, the work you do when everybody is. I
appreciate that, man.
And I give kudos to
Because,
you.
you caught me off guard. You caught me in a moment where I was like just in the shadows, just, I like to be a little bit, more reserved, low key. In the camera, I'm flamboyant, I'm extravagant.
Sure.
I use fancy words, but like behind the scenes, I'm just like low key. So yeah, it really caught me off guard, man, and I appreciate that. Because again, it's what you do in the shadows is what you do when you fail, when you suck, when you let people down. And I think that's what I was trying to show you in that moment, that like business is a journey, and it looks like you're extremely successful, and it looks like you have it all, but just that's why I admired you, because I'm like, man, like I don't have it all. I want to be and learn from you, and vice versa. So, man, anything else? We had a good time?
Listen, man, I love this.
Because I know the camera crew here is getting a little nervous.
Oh, wow, are we cutting?
Camera crew's getting antsy.
Oh.
So what do you think?
I think if you're good, I'm great. So.
Anything else that we need to talk about? Should we crack open the other bottle? Or?
Listen, man, no, you could have done that. Yeah.
So look, guys, this is a completely unorthodox tequila talks. It really wasn't about the tequila. It was about my friend Kofi, about how he's been able to build his brand on social media, something that I want to do, and what he's been able to do for the community of Akron. Like LeBron, like Kofi, like myself, we're people that are committed, that are invested, that want to be able to help people, that want to resonate. So if you like this video, if you like what we talked about, and you want to follow us, give my man Kofi a follow. We're going to tag your social media in there so that you can get a whole new series of followers. But man, if you like what we talked about, if you like Tequila Talks, if you like me, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that lingo. Kofi, Final remarks, what do you think, man?
All a pleasure. I'm glad I'm here. This was great, Lobos. Y'all are good.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, and I think man, I drink more than you, but after a full glass of Lobos,
your cheeks get a little.
my cheeks and my face started to feel a little numb.
I got things to do today. I can't be doing that.
Okay.
But thank you, man. This is great.
Well, thank you guys. So, on our next episode of Tequila Talks, at this point, I don't know what the next episode is, but just please tune into the next episode. We're either going to be doing a Tequila Talks, a cocktail series. We might be doing another podcast. But thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And like always, shoot your shot and sip tequila.